You are Executive Vice President of International Operations at Schneider Electric, based in Singapore and leading businesses across South America, the Middle East, Africa, India, and the Pacific. With 25 years of experience at the company, you understand the challenges of populous cities and where decarbonization potential can be found. Now, we know that buildings are one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle in the global race to net zero. Could you tell us more about this?
Thank you, Lucy, and great to be here. Thanks to Bloomberg for hosting us tonight. I would say that buildings are a place that we spend a lot of our time, where we play. We are with people that we value most. At the same time, it's a very important as part of the decarbonization that we are all working towards in this world. And why so? Because today, the problem of decarbonization is linked to energy. And cities where buildings are almost contributing to 70% of those emissions. Buildings are 40% of the total carbon emissions that we have in the world. So therefore, as we talk about getting to net zero, we need to see how buildings get to net zero. Now, if you look at buildings, I mean, you saw an example here of Intensity, which is a new building that has just been constructed, and that's net zero. I would say that today technologies are there to make it net zero for new buildings. At the same time, we need to look at existing buildings because almost 90% of the buildings today would still be there by 2030, and we need to achieve minus 50% by 2030. And 50% of those buildings would still be there by 2050. So if you want to get to our net zero goals in the world, we need to see how we are able to decarbonize even the existing buildings. And we have another example right here on the screens, which is our Kelang headquarters here in Singapore. That is actually an 18-year-old building, an example of an old building that has been retrofitted and it's carbon neutral. So we need to manage on both sides, and therefore it's important for us to work towards making buildings net zero.
Great that you are bringing a local example to this conversation. How did Schneider Electric attain and maintain carbon neutrality in the Kelang Pulse building?
Well, for Schneider Electric, that's what we do for a living. So we say we should start with eating our own food and trying our own technologies first before we take it to our customers. And this is why we have this building, which is almost 28 years old. It is close to 18,500 square meters. We have about 1,200 people working in this building. When we got this building, we retrofitted it with a lot of sensors and devices. So working on, I would say, 50% on the supply side by bringing renewables, and another 25% on operational efficiency, and another 25% by design. So that's how we have been able to bring it to become carbon neutral by 2021. And the other thing about this building is that as the standards for green buildings keep changing and actually getting stepped up. This building qualified for the standard in 2017, then also to 2021 standards, and therefore it's been recognized as one of the leading green buildings in the region by the World Green Building Council for Asia Pacific. So we are proud of that.
That's great to hear. And how do you achieve that balance between human-centered design and digital transformation in a retrofitted building like this?
Yeah, it's a very good question. We have to do everything. Buildings are places where people spend their time, and here we are talking about our employees. We want them to have a great workplace. So the building has to be people-centric or employee-centric here. We have over 5,000 sensors and about 1,100 devices. that are integrated together. It's about sensing different elements, as well as measuring energy flow at different points, and we integrate all of them through our EcoStruxure platform, which then gives us data, which is what we are using for helping our employees to optimize their workplace, looking at air quality, lighting, temperature at the place of work. They can also decide where they want to work depending on the occupancy levels of the building at different times of the day. And this is what is making sure that we are taking care of the welfare of our employees. Now, having done that, we are, of course, saving energy. I should mention that we have saved about 50% from the time we moved in terms of energy consumption from 2018 to now, and we continue to bring improvements every year. On top of that, we are also able to bring a lot of productivity improvements because we are able to optimize the performance and also do a lot of predictive maintenance. So it is sustainability is more than just net zero, and there are other benefits that accrue together with it. So yeah, you can make an old building net zero and also get other advantages as a consequence of that.
One final question to round off. How would you define or describe buildings of the future?
Well, we are in a net zero event, so of course the buildings have to be net zero. What we say that the buildings of the future have to be all electrical, all digital, sustainable, hyper efficient, and of course people-centric.
Thank you very much, Manish, for joining me in conversation.
Thank you.